Hey guys, this is Dami24 and welcome to episode 5 of my series, Becoming a Better Tanker. This series is designed to teach you little tips, tricks, and map strategies to help you become a better player in the online free-to-play game World of Tanks. In this episode, I'm going to be discussing just general map strategies for the on the map Malinovka and the Assault mode. Generally, I'm going to be speaking about the defense side because I'm being a defender in this game anyway. But I'll also talk a little bit about how to play as an attacker. Now, right off the bat, as a defender, you want to hill camp. I know a lot of people are gonna poo-poo and all, that sucks and everything, but the map is heavily stacked for defense on the hill. You know, you gotta take what you can get, man. And if the map is stacked in that way, well, that's just the way it's gotta be played. As the attackers, generally speaking, you want to do another pincer movement. Pincer movements are pretty much the key on this game in general, but on this map and then in episode 4 on that map in particular. Now if you're doing a pincer movement, I guess the northwest prong here should be primarily medium tanks, not heavy tanks, because they have to crest over a pretty steep hill, and when they do that, it's going to take a long time for the heavy tank to get over that and open them up to more enemy shots. Whereas if you're in a medium tank, you kind of pop up, peek over, maybe get a shot off. If you don't, it's not a big deal. You're primarily trying to spot. For the other prong, the southeast prong, you're going to be coming up in the wood, in the forest area or whatever, the forest sectors, Bravos, Charlies, Alphas, whatever. You're going to be coming up in there. That's going to be primarily heavy tanks, tank destroyers. You're going to have a little bit better cover down there because it's harder for the enemy to see you. And it's I guess not even a rolling hill. It's kind of like a really gradual incline until you get to the base of the hill itself, like up around C0, maybe even the B0 line coordinate sector, whatever. And then at that time, then it starts to get much steeper. That will give you guys in the heavy tanks and in the tank destroyers, you can sit back a little farther and get your shots off without having to worry about being hit. Also, it'd also be a good spot for one medium tank to sit. If you look on the map right here, see if I can get a view of it. Where this IS is, that's also kind of like a rolling hill, and it's also kind of hard for tanks sitting on the hill to shoot down on them. A medium tank, that's a good spot for medium tank to sit on there and maybe get a few shots on the defenders that are sitting right over here, maybe by this building, and to spot as well. Now, for our setup as a defense team, we have your typical pub game setup where everybody kind of just sprawls out and goes everywhere. Instead of sitting on the hill, we got some dudes that are out in the open, which is exactly where this Jog Panther is. I understand that he's behind a bush or whatever here, but if he gets spotted, which he will, he's going to be in a world of hurt because he's got no rocks to hide behind. He's got no ground to hide behind or anything like that. Same thing with this IS that's down here. He's way out in the open. He's the farthest. As a heavy tank, you should not be leading the charge. You should have your light tanks leading the charge, And with the way he is all the way down here, all it takes is for somebody in these woods to spot him, and then he's toast. He also has nowhere to hide behind, and later on as the game goes on, he's going to get shot. He's going to be like about 50% before he even gets back into this like little city area. This Jog Panther, as the game goes on, he's going to die right there because, again, he's got nowhere to hide. The place where that Jog Panther should sit is right where I'm at, right here. Let's see if we can... Whoops, that's not the button I want to push. As you can see, there's a little bit of a roll, I guess you could say, to this hill. There's a little bit of a gully or a ditch or whatever you want to call it that I'm sitting in. I'm behind this bush, so I have a little bit of cover. But I'm also kind of like hidden behind the dirt. I don't know how to describe it, but you can see right here, it's the mound, it goes up. Where, let's see if I can show it like this. It comes down and then it comes back up. The ground comes back up a little bit again. So I'm kind of hiding hull down in here where I can see dudes that are crossing, that are just getting over that hill, that are cresting the hill. But I'm also kind of hidden behind the dirt, if that makes sense. So this is a good spot for you to sit in general, because you can get up, you get a few shots off, and you can kind of pull back a little bit. The only thing you got to worry about right here is when if you get spotted and they get artied. In this map, or in this game, there's no arty for the other team, so I don't really have to worry about that. These other guys up here that are just kind of sitting, these are okay spots. I mean, they're behind cover, but like for example, this M6 has got his whole side armor just pointing at these guys, so it's not very good. Now, as far as the other guys are doing, the attackers, they're not doing too bad because they do have a decent sized push coming up here for their northwest prong, except the problem is they don't follow through with it. You see, they come up a little bit, attack a little bit, and then they don't push, you know. And there's no real coordination between the northwest and the southeast. They're not pushing together at the same time and bottlenecking us. They come up a little bit, take a couple shots off, and they do like this IS does, and they hide behind this building. That's a poor strategy, man, because all you're going to do is you're going to come up, you might be able to get a shot off, and then you're going to have like the M6, you're going to have me, you're going to have that Yog Panther, all shooting on one tank at a time. That's not... If they would all came up and pushed together as a whole team, it would have been a lot better. But they didn't do that. And we're able to pick them off one at a time like we do with this Wolverine, which you're going to see in a second here. So, and that's... I mean, their timing is decent. And... like the composition of their prong is not horrible. I would rather if they didn't have any. They have two ISs and a Tiger and a T-32 or whatever the tank is, T-29 on their northeast or their northwest prong. Those tanks have been better on the southeast, as well as that Wolverine. That would have been better to have those down in that forest where they could have been hidden a little bit more. But I guess I mean, it's not horrible, but like I said in other episodes, there's little things add up, and that's why you'll win or that's why you'll lose, is the little things. Another thing that I was saying, you see how that Yog Panther, I told you that was a bad spot for him to sit in. Well, they had a bunch of tanks there and he took a ton of damage. He's got nowhere to hide. That's what his problem is. I mean, that bush isn't going to stop a tank shell. As you can see, that's why he's down to 43% health. So, you know, we're up 6-2, and we're not doing too bad, but to their credit, they start to come back a little bit, and they actually pull ahead 6-7 for a little bit, and that's because we've got all these guys over here in places they shouldn't be. We got, I mean, obviously the light tanks are just screwing around, but we have an M4 down there, and he's way too far off the hill. What is that? Is that another M4? It's hard for me to see. Two M4s that are way too far down. The Panther was down in the city. He should be up on the hill, especially since he's a snipe tank. He's a sniper. He should be up on this hill with me. He's down to 36% health. The IS got pushed off of where he was at. He's down to 52. This Jackson tank destroyer should be up where I'm at. The Yog Panther is too far down. He's got nothing to hide behind. T-29 way too far down there. Look at... He's basically in the woods, except there's nobody to spot for him. I also don't like these. You see sometimes as a defense, you'll see a couple of guys hide behind this, I think it's a bombed out church or whatever this building is. That's a bad spot because that medium tank that I was talking about earlier, if they put a medium tank on that hill, they get a few shots on you sitting right there, or they can at least spot you. And you really don't have much cover, because if you go to the right, you're going to get hit by guys over here. If you back too far up, you're going to get hit by the medium that's sitting over there. So I don't really like that spot either. You basically really want to sit up on top of the hill, because you're looking down on everybody, and The cap's right in front of you. I mean, it's just the way they made the map, you know. There's the end of that Yog Panther I was telling you about. See, they start coming back. 6-5. There's another one, 6-6 to even it up. So they're not doing too bad. It's just I wish they would have pushed, you know. If I was on the other team, I'd have been like, come on, man, you gotta all push at the same time here. Because the way it is, we've got, let's see, we got one light tank, we got our Panther sitting in at 36% health. Our T-29 is at half health. If they push, they could pretty much, depending on what they got, I mean, I can't see everything that they have, but they could probably run us over. And look at this T-29, horrible spot for him to be. And that's not even the worst of it. He's got a tank right here that he should be hiding behind. You notice the tree goes on over here too.
Punch right through their armor.
But he's right out in the middle of the open. And I'm going to take my own advice and keep shooting even though I can't see where he's at. And it's going to pay off for me. See, I pull up, get a shot. See, I notice I tracked him there. And again, I can almost guarantee he didn't repair that. So what do?
He's gone.
Take another shot. And that's the end of that. That's a tier 7 in a tier 7 heavy in a tier 7 game. That's a big kill right there. Even though we're down 7-10, you know, they still got to push this hill.
We finished him off.
Trying to get a shot on an IS because he's down at 2% health. Both of those ISs are just... And see, I'm trying to see if I can get a shot on that Tiger over there. That Tiger shouldn't be where he's at because he's right out in the open. And he's a slow tank.
He's gone. Find another target.
Get that other IS that was peeking around. So now we're down to 3. And again, see that T-29 is way too far down there. Nobody to help him out, and he's dead. So it's just me and the M6. And the M6 is given a ton of side armor. So I almost break my own rules here by not paying attention to what's going on. And I start getting ready to come up to try to attack that T-25. And I see it just start capping. So I was going back and forth, but what should I do here? And then I'm watching my teammates telling me to hide. I look up at the time and see that there's about 30 seconds left. So I go right back to my own little spot over there and wait out the game. And we end up winning. But again, when you play as defense on here, sit on this hill, man, because even though it may seem cheap and everything, you have to play, you got to play the map the way it's meant to be played. If you're on defense and you're on this hill, it's the place to be. If you're attacking, heavy tanks should not be trying to crest this hill. It's way too steep for them. You should be doing this, and tank destroyers should be slowly coming up there while the medium tanks are spotting people. And even if you don't want to do that and you can't do that because you're playing a pub game, at least push everybody at the same time. Don't just push a little bit up. And that's what they did. They pushed a little bit, get a couple shots off, and they come back and they hide back. They get a couple more shots off and they hide back. Well, right, they end up getting us down to one tank, but they run out of time to do it. And thankfully, my teammates were hollering at me to hide, and we end up winning the game because of it. So with that, again, if you're the defenders, you know, sit up on the top. If you're on the attacking team, try to do the right things. But if nothing else, push hard and use force to try to overcome any minor mistakes that you made. And I hope that you guys like this episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think. If you think I'm wrong, if you know a better strategy to do here, if you know some better hiding spots. I really love this spot. If you see me in the game and I'm defense, you can almost guarantee that I'm going to be sitting right here. But yeah, please like, comment, subscribe if you want some more of this kind of stuff. I'm also going to be doing a Let's Play of Empire Total Wars, the Prussians. I did a little bit of that earlier, but my computer, I was on an old laptop and that kind of crapped out on me, so I'm gonna do a new Let's Play on this computer, and you're gonna see more about that pretty soon in other uploads. So yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys liked it. Maybe learn a little something new. And yeah, take care, guys. Bye.